Welcome to MMO Grinder Sidequest, where I take a look at early open or closed betas, subscription trials, and simpler titles, giving you a quick first impression. Today I'll be looking at Infinite Crisis, the new MOBA game from Turbine featuring DC comic characters from alternate universes. This game is currently in an invite-only closed beta, with keys that don't so much guarantee you access as much as move you closer to the front of the line. This is a pretty nice looking game, but there's a certain lack of focus in the graphics. It seems a bit unpolished, and the camera seems way closer to the action than other games, making getting used to the battlefield a bit tougher, and oftentimes you'll be focused on your character or enemy and not realizing that you're being attacked from off-screen. There's also plenty of flashy effects as per the norm of these games. Champions, yes, they are called champions in this game, are recognizable to DC fans with familiar faces like Green Lantern, Cyborg, the Joker, and several different universe versions of Batman. There's the standard action battle sounds of MOBAs, and the music, while nice, takes a backseat to the sounds and isn't as easily noticed. There's a good amount of voice work for the champions with some fun dance and joke emotes. Infinite Crisis is the kind of MOBA that's got me relegating MOBAs to a side quest only sort of state, in that it's not really bringing too many new concepts to the table. First off, as of now, there is only one area map to play on, Gotham Heights, which is a near-exact clone of the League of Legends Dominion map, with 5 points in a wheel, and a 6th point that's available at random times. In order to capture points, merely stand on that point, unlike clicking it in League, but if you come under attack from other champions, the capture process will stop. Stand in the area long enough and that tower is yours. Hold the majority of the towers and you'll cause the other team to lose their points, and eventually you'll win. The midpoint occasionally becomes unlocked, and while the point takes much longer to capture, it'll summon several massive minion enemies that take the other points for you. When minions are killed, if you're not the last hit, they will occasionally drop their gold on the ground, allowing you to pick it up rather than having to focus only on last hits. By default, skill casting is done by holding down the hotkey to pull up the targeting image or skill range, and then releasing it will fire it immediately. You can change this in the options menu if you prefer League's target, then click playstyle. There's also cars and objects littered on the playfield that some champions can use as weaponry by tossing them at their opponents. The shop also uses the tiered item system like in Smite, meaning that items will improve by individual stats rather than building multiple items that will eventually lead to a better one. Despite these few changes, the basics of League's Dominion mode translate well here. You'll see many players rush for the top point, only having one defending the bottom, and stick with holding about 3 points until they can make a push for more. The middle point gameplay element mixes things up a bit, but it's hardly a game changer, and some groups will expend all their players trying to capture it, only to have more points stolen out from underneath them. The minions rewarded from this center point, while helpful, aren't exactly game changers, and they can be taken down fairly simply by more damaging champions. So, the community? Yeah, they're here. Of course they are. If you don't like being yelled at by strangers that, up until the point you lose, decide not to talk to you, and that point only bother to yell at you for everything that went wrong, and perform other bastardizations of the phrase teamwork, then you're probably not going to want to play this. While most matches that I had today were fairly quiet, I did face a ton of random yelling and cursing that you would expect from this kind of game. I don't get it. Considering it's an invite-only closed beta, who exactly are they trying to impress? The game and the characters could end up being completely different by the next time you reach a beta weekend. What's the point of playing so seriously? I think a lot might stem from the fact that the license may be attracting players who don't know about this kind of game and who've never even set foot into a League of Legends Dominion map. Of course, the general attitude of many players is to assume that everyone has, and this is the cause of a lot of strife in these matches. It's a rift between people who genuinely don't know how to play and the people who expect that everyone does and unwilling to coach others on it. I've seen plenty of players streaming the game giving pointers to other players who might forget to buy items or they end up standing too long in an area, and they'll end up winning most of their matches. It's almost like it's a more efficient strategy than to just farm for kills, ignore towers and allies, and scream OMFG you suck noobs at the end of every match. The game's also featuring a meme of sorts already, in that players will tell you that the red side of the map is cursed. As fate would have it, the red side always seems to contain the new players who will gather around the last tower, the kill farmers who complain about you not getting any kills, or kill stealing from them if you do get kills, and generally it just tends to be a bad time. While it's clearly superstition, I can tell you that I have never won a match on the red side of the map for those above stated reasons. It's kinda creepy when you think about it. The cash shop seems to be operating in the same manner as many MOBAs, charging for individual champions for earned credits or cash credits, and allowing for the purchase of alternate costumes for your heroes and villains. What's done differently is the ability to purchase more stolen powers, which act similar to League summoner spells for earned credits only. While Infinite Crisis doesn't exactly break new MOBA ground, and the earliness of this closed beta really shows in the occasional bug, frame rate issue, and general problem with balance, it's shaping up to be a decent alternative to the other more fantasy-focused MOBA games. Well, as long as you like League's Dominion mode. With a few more tweaks, some more maps, and some more chances taken with the playstyle, this could shape up to be a lot of fun, standard community issues excluded. Infinite Crisis is now out of the beta weekend-only phase, and as of July 31st of this year, will now be live 24/7, so keep an eye out for keys if you're wanting to get a piece of the superhero MOBA action. This has been an MMO Grinder Sidequest, and it's time I logged out.